Yo, Skid, what's up, everybody, man? Y'all know who I be. It's your man, Pooh, CYGG, and today is an exciting day because I'm revealing to you guys the player builder for ESG Football 24. Now, if you guys look at the screen, I'm going to be giving you guys a couple walkthroughs. Now, you have your passing, which showcases your passing ability, your receiving, which shows you basically all the attributes that you can upgrade with your receiving. You have your rushing, which gives you a long line of all your abilities for running the ball and that you can upgrade. Then you have your coverage, which is, your basic coverage abilities. And then after we get from your coverage abilities, we get to your physicals, which is all the things that makes your player physically gifted. It comes down to if you want to make your player faster, jump fast, you know what I'm saying? Your speed, everything that you feel is important. Then it goes to blocking if you want to make an offensive lineman. Then after that, we go into our kicking abilities, which if you want to make your player a kicker as well, or just give your player the kicker abilities, he can do that. And the last ones would be tackling and your engaging for either if you want to make a linebacker or if you want to make a defensive tackle. Now, I'm showing you the available skill sets. Now, these are basically the things you can add to your player to make your player lean more towards a certain archetype. Now, it's not going to be hard with this. It's very easy to break down. It may look like it's crazy, but it's very easy to look at this. Now, for example, if you want to make your player more of a quarterback, you're going to look at your passing and you're going to choose a red icon. If you want to make your player more of a, in this case, let's just say a blocker, you choose a blue one, or a defensive tackle, you will choose a purple. So basically, whatever you want your player to be, more leaning towards in that archetype, you would pick one of these color schemes and you would add it to your player. So in this case, Dimer. Dimer is red, it goes towards red and passing. So it's very easy to kind of, basically, navigate through this. It may look like it's complicated, but it's not. It's very simple. And I like the way they have broken it down. If I want to make my player more of a receiver, I'll put something in the green. And if I want to just enhance my physical abilities, I would pick the pink. Now, another thing that you guys need to understand is that you can pick some of these abilities more than once. Just because I picked one for my physicals don't mean I can't improve my physical again. See, look, I was able to do it twice. So now I can make my player even faster. And you can do this with a lot of other things. And what this is going to do, this is going to open up the archetype system for so many different styles of players. So you don't just have to be hindered to just picking one at a time out of all of these slots, because you have 8 slots. You have 4 on one side, 4 on the other, and you can either balance your player out, make him a good defensive and offensive player, or you can just make a pure offensive threat. It's kind of like, playing with the 2K builder almost, man. I'm really enjoying this. Now, these are basically all the abilities that I chose for my player. He's kind of going to be somewhat like I want to say a Justin Jefferson, somewhat of a Jamar Chase type hybrid, who can play a little bit of coverage on defense and can make a couple of tackles. He may not be as strong on defense as he would on offense, but I'm leaning more towards making my player a great wide receiver that can get a ton of catches. Now, another thing you need to be aware of, that all of these abilities add to your cap. As you can see the numbers on there, they're going to show you basically how it's going to attribute to my badge. When we get there, I'm going to show you how these numbers play out, but pay attention to those numbers when you are adding things to your players, because they're going to play a huge factor in how much you can upgrade your badge level. And there are 6 different types of badge levels, so you have to be very careful. Also, do not come into this game thinking that you're going to make a player like off the Madden Showdown, where you're going to make a 6'8", 6'9" player who can just run down the field very fast and do everything. No, it's more like the 2K builder in the sense, the higher your height goes, the more it affects your physical abilities. And if you put too much height on your player, you're going to have to add extra physicals to your player to make up for the lack of speed and stuff like that, which is also going to damage other things such as your catching, your ability to run and juke, your ability to tackle, because you're having to make up for that gap of speed because your physicals is being affected so much. So be careful with that. Think of it like 2K. You're either gonna make a 6'6" defensive menace that can, you know, do a couple of everything, or you're gonna make a, you know, shorter player that can shoot more. You know what I'm saying? That has a high 3-point rating. But in this case, you're gonna make a shorter player that is faster, that can move around faster, but, you know, can juke more as well. You really got to think of it in the mind of a 2K builder, not everything else. Now let's look at these badges. I love the way that they have their badges set up, and this is what I was talking about as well. As you can see, I only got a few coverages. So yeah, man, I'm loving these badges. The air bandit, the air, you know, the air defense, which is, you know, your ability to basically swat the ball and stuff like that, you know, in the with the air traffic. You know, I love it. The ball hawk increases your chance to get an interception. The gracious grab, which is, you know, if somebody tips the ball in the air, you can get it. It's a gracious grab. I love that. You have the island, man to man. You got the influence for boosting your defense, the jammer, which is, you know, you can jam somebody at the line. A radio jammer would have worked good for this too. I don't care. Like, I love it. Then after that, you know, you got the lurking badge, which is lurking in the, you know, in the wood, in the grass, waiting to catch an interception. I absolutely love it. The recovery, which is, you know, you get your recovery. Basically, if you go for a swat and they beat you, you can still recover. The sentinel, zone defense. The slithery finisher badge, but nah, the slithery, which means you can't get away from them because they're blocking you off if you're trying to break away from them, like in man-to-man coverage. I love that a lot, man. These badges are so unique, man. I'm just showing you guys basically all the ones I like so far. After that, you got tip drill, and lastly, you know, you got the unfakeable. And now we also go into physicals, which is, you know, the afterburner that increases your speed, the all day, which is, you know, you can basically do moves all day, you know what I'm saying, without getting tired. Now, while I'm going through these badges as well, I want to showcase that these badges have 6 levels. Now there's bronze, silver, gold, Hall of Fame, and legend and GOAT, which if I'm going to put my speed up, I'm going to put it on GOAT. But this is where you have to pay attention to your physicals, because you guys can be great in the physicals category, but if your player lacks other things in other categories, your player is not going to be a good overall player. So you have to pay attention to these things when basically making your player better. So also some of these attributes that I put on there, they either may go up or they may go down when it comes out. So also I want you guys to pay attention to the top upper hand corner in the right side. It basically shows the overall, and it shows that it will be VP, which is basically your virtual points. So maybe the virtual points may be used for shopping, new gear and stuff like that. So that's also something to pay attention. Alright, so as we get back to the video, you're going to see the quick strafe, which is for defense. Since I'm going to be moving my feet a lot, I'm going to have Shifty, and I'm going to have that Skywalker on GOAT, since I'm making a Justin Jefferson type hybrid / Jamar Chase. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be going up there for the one-hander. You know what I'm saying? Putting all that on GOAT, since I want my wide receiver to play like a GOAT. And since we're talking about wide receiver, the next thing I'm going to be showing is the receiving abilities, the basket catch. And then after that, you got, you know what I'm saying, the box out ability. Like, all the badges on this game is so well thought out. And box out basically increases your catching in traffic. And then you have your business decision, which is your falling catches. And then you have your diamond hands, which, you know, I'm going to show you guys, which means you can catch in traffic. And so this is what I mean. Like, when you guys see all of these badges, you have to be mindful, because if you put too much on your physicals, too much on everything else, you're not going to be able to really catch the ball that good. Or whenever a player tackles your player, he's going to be dropping a lot of passes. So if you're going to make you a lockdown corner, you better make him at least an average receiver. You may not be the best ball carrier. You may not be able to juke. You may get stripped a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing you have to look at. You may get stripped a lot. And I'm leaving this up there so you guys can look at the badges. I know I'm supposed to be reading them to you, but I'm letting you guys get a good look at it while I basically go through the human highlight, the jump ball, Fearless, which is, you know, catching the ball and not being scared of the contact. The miraculous worker, which is the most, I think it increases your chance for the miraculous catch if you're going up for them one-hand catches, you know, making them Odell type catches. The rocket catch, which increase your run after catch rating. So, you know, you got a lot of people who may try to run after catch with the ball, but if you can't catch, if you try to run out the catch without that rocket hitting your hand, you're not going to be able to do it. Then you got the separator and the slick release. Now you're going to need the separator and the slick release for people who have a high what's the ability, a high slithery and a high jammer, because they're gonna jam you at the line and you ain't getting no catches. So these are all these abilities, man. I'm loving showing you guys. And if you want to make a running back too, here goes some of the badges. Basically, you know what I'm saying, the boogie, the ankle breaker, where like the freight train, all of these, man. I love all of these badges that these dudes put in the game. I love the thought process that they put behind it, the quick start. And down here you will see my favorite, man. After the spin cycle, this is my favorite right here, the stop and go. They use the girl from Squid Games, bro. The red light, green light, green light, red light. I love it, man. That's a dope ability. I really love it. But we're gonna see what my player turns. And also, like, here we go with the tackling. Oh, I love the tackling abilities, man. Even though my player is not gonna be that big of a tackler, you got the Devastator for big hits. You got the Dislodger. You know what I'm saying? That basically, if they're going to catch the ball in traffic, you're going to need that as a cornerback. So that's another thing, that if you're going to make a cornerback, the fear tactic was basically, you know, make them drop the ball if you're nearby, make them scared. You know what I'm saying? If you're in that vicinity. If you're going to make a cornerback, you have to have some tackling abilities to get these abilities right here. Just putting coverage abilities, you may be able to cover somebody, but you won't be able to stop them once they catch the ball, because you're just good at covering. But when you're just a couple of steps off of them and you don't have that, like, let's just say if you have recovery and fear tactic, recovery and dislodger, you're going to be a monster out there, man. So you got to be mindful of how you're building your players. You got to bring some of them tackling abilities too. I'm going to love, man. But yeah, this is what my player came out to. He became a pure speedster, proficient smotherer, you know, good jackrabbit. He good at catching, man. He a decent, good receiver out there, man. I got to make him better next time. But let me know what other builds you guys want to see me make. Until next time, it's your man, Poe, CYGG, and I'm out.